This is AJ Styling So, and welcome to my YouTube channel. How are you doing today? Well, if you're new to this channel is about clothes making, everything clothes making, anything. Just think about it: your skirt, your blouse, your jumpsuit, whatever, all of it we're going to be doing here. So if you're new, kindly subscribe to the channel and then give it a thumbs up when you watch the video and you like the video. And if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section. And please, you can share with friends, share on your status, share on your pages. Anyway, today we'll be learning how to make our basic block pattern, basic bodice block pattern. And the measurements we'll be needing is our bust measurement, our weight, our shoulder measurement, our waist measurement, and then our blouse length, then our dart line measurement, which we get from our nipple to nipple distance. So if you don't know how to take your body measurement, you can check the description box below to check the link on how to take your body measurement. So let's get started. Go to the work table and get started. We've been making our basic block for this block. So we have different type of necklines, but we're using our round neck to make this video. So our standard measurement for round neck is 3 inches by 6 inches. So let's start. We start with our shoulder measurements. If I folded it, if normal block pattern, you just use one piece. I'm folding it so that you see the way to look after cutting. So this is our front pattern we're making now. So the shoulder measurement is 8 inches, 16 inches divided by 2 is 8, then plus half inch. The half inch is what you use in joining your shoulder and your sleeve. Then you come down by 1 inch, mark 1 inch. But first of all, you go to your neck, take your neck wideness of 3 inches, and then neck depth of 6 inches. Make sure you mark the 6 here as well. Then you join these points together. So then use your French curve to get your perfect neck line. So this is it. So from this neck now, we said our shoulder measurement is 8 inches plus half for it to join the sleeve, which is 8 and a half. On this point of 8 and a half, you come down by 1 inch. So this 1 inch point, you join it to the neck, because our shoulder is not straight, it's slanted. So this is the reason for the slant. Then you take your armhole depth. The armhole depth is your armhole roundness divided by 2, armhole circumference divided by 2. So this person's armhole roundness is 16 divided by 2 is 8 to get the armhole depth. So this is the armhole depth. So this armhole depth, take our chest line and just roll it. But you join this place first, from the shoulder to the armhole. You join it first. Then on this place, you take on this line, our chest line, and just say CL or CH. I'll take my bust measurement, the person's bust measurement plus half inch. This person's bust measurement is 38 divided by 4 is 9.5 plus half is 10.5, 10 inches. So this is it. Then you come down, take the person's waist measurement, which is the half length from the shoulder to the waist. Half length is 16. So just mark it. And then you tag it waist line. Then you can still go to the blouse length, wherever you want your blouse to stop. Maybe I want this blouse to stop on 25. Just mark it BL blouse length. You can give it any name if you want. So on this waistline, I'll take the waist measurement. I said to get the waist, you go to get your half length, your shoulder to where your waist is. That is your half length. So the half length for this person is 34. 34 divided, the waist measurement of this person is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. So just mark 8.5. Then the person's hip measurement, the blouse is stopping on the hip. The person's shoulder to hip is actually 24, and we're using 25. So this is the person's hip. So let's draw the hip line, waist to hip. Shoulder to hip is 24. So let's roll this line and call it hip line. on the hip, the person's hip is 44, divided by 4 is 11. So just mark 11. So I just connect it, and this is the line. So what we just do is connect these points together. The bust to waist, and then waist to hip. So this is it. And you can just curve here inwards and then curve here outwards, because the waist is not pointed, it's curvy, and the hip is curvy, is not sharp. So then for the armhole for the front bodice and the armhole for the back bodice, they are different. So for the front body, this is a front bodice block. You take the midpoint of this line is 8 inches, so the midpoint is 4. You come in by ½ inch, so you connect like this. You place your French curve now from here, connecting inwards to this point first. For the part of the French curve that looks straight, face it. Then for this part now, you take your French curve now from here, take it inward like this now. So look for the part that is deep. So this is it. So this is our armhole curve for the back. So this is for the front bodice. So this is it. Then in a situation whereby we want to add that, we add that to the waist. This pattern now can be used to cut a fabric that is stretchy. Just exactly like this, you cut it and use it for a fabric. So we're adding that to the waist. That is used in giving shape and fitting to our dress, to our bodies, whether skirts, whether trousers, whether shirts or top. So use that to give shape and fitting to our body. So we're adding that here. The fitting, the purpose of the dart on the waist is to give fitting to the body. There are different types of dart. There's armhole dart, there's shoulder dart, there's bust dart. Bust dart comes from the bust. Armhole dart comes from the armhole. Shoulder dart comes from the shoulder. Waist dart is on the waist. So there are different types of darts. You can manipulate it. There's what we call dart manipulation. You can even use 2 at once, you can use 3 at once, just know what you want. So but we're using our regular waist dart construct. So in a situation whereby you're cutting on stretchy fabric, this is perfect. You use this to cut on your stretchy fabric. You just add sewing allowance, and if the fabric is super stretchy, you don't need to add any sewing allowance. You will sew from it and it will still fit in perfectly. But in a situation whereby the fabric is stiff, you need the bust now to have a shape, because you know when it's stretchy, because of the stretchiness, it will still relax on your body and show the bust. That's why it does not need that. But in the situation whereby it's free, it's a non-stretchy fabric, it will look big. So the darts now will now give the bust its own fitting. It will make the bust come out fine, and then the hip come out fine. Then take the waist inward to show that yes, this is the waist is fitted. So to add the waist, you just take to get your dart line, you take your nipple to nipple distance divided by 2 plus half. Nipple to nipple distance is, for this person, is 8 inches. To get your nipple to nipple distance, you can watch the tutorial on how to get nipple to nipple distance. The link is on the description box. So this person is 8 inches for nipple to nipple, divided by 2 is 4. Just mark 4 plus ½ inch, so 4 and half. The same thing on the shoulder, mark 4 and half. To join these points together to get a straight line. So on this straight line, we're taking our waist darts. So on the waistline, I will choose how many inches we want for the dart. So generally, people use 1 or 1 and half. So I want to use 1 inch for that. So I just mark 1 inch on this side of this dart line and 1 inch on this side of this dart line. Then from the shoulder, I will mark where my bust point is. So still on that measurement tutorial, you see how to take your shoulder to your bust point. So that tutorial is very, very important. Please watch it. You just place your tape on your shoulder to wherever your bust point is. This person's bust point is 10.5, meaning that is the exact point of the person's bust. So you mark 10 point. Just put a mark, there may be a stericate or something to know that this is the bust point. This is where a person's nipple is. So on this bust point, you come down by 1 inch now, or your dart should not get to the bust. While on the down of your blouse, for the front bodice, you come up by 2 inches. Because there's a basic principle for that, for waist dart. Your waist dart for the front bodice, it should be 1 inch below your bust point. It should start from 1 inch below your bust point to your waist and stop at 2 inches above your hip. Then for the back pattern, it should be from your shoulder to 10 inches. Anywhere 10 inches is on your body, or between 9 and 10 inches to your waist, and then to 1 inch above your hip. So the difference between the front and the back is the back that stops at 1 inch above hip, the front that stops at 2 inches above hip, while the front that starts at 1 inch below the nipple point, while that back that starts at exactly 9 inch from your shoulder or 10 inch from your shoulder. So that's it. So I'll join these points together now. And then I'll join it to these points. So this is the darts. This is it. Then how do we now add these darts to the main bodice? We just added one here. This is 1 inch, this is 1 inch, which is 2 inches. So we just add it to the waist measurements. Just add 2 inches here. Mark 2 inches. Then join this to the bust back, and then join it to the hip back. So this is basically how to take that. So I said if you're not adding that, you don't need to add this. Just use this major first pattern we constructed for non-stretchy fabric. For a stretchy fabric, you add your dart allowance to it. So by the time you sew this will come back to this same shape. So in a situation whereby you don't want your blouse to be pointy, you can come up with something. Let's just do something here. This is my blouse length now. I want to go up. This is your choice, whatever you want. I want to go up by 4 inches. So this is 4 inches. Then this is the center front of my blouse now. Let me come down by 1 inch. So I'll join these 2 points together. This is I'm just constructing, so it's not like it's a must. Just maybe you don't want it point, you don't want your blouse to just be straight, you want something. So this is a guide. I can take the midpoint, use the mid. Okay, let's just do it. Let's take the midpoint of this line. In fashion, it's just creativity. This is 12 inches, so the midpoint is 6. On the midpoint, let me just come out by ½ inch. So this ½ inch now is a guide. That's I'll follow, and then curve it. So by the time I curve it, this is the way it will look like. So when I cut it now, it will not be straight now. It will now have a curve. So let me curve it so that you see. Let me cut so you see what it looks like. There are different ways you can do a different shape, whatever you like. This is just what I want to do. But before you cut on your fabric, you have to add your sewing allowance at the side. After adding this dart allowance, you add your general sewing allowance, and then you add your hemming allowance. I'm cutting the neck now, following the curve you made. This is for a round neck, so you can choose the neckline of your choice. So this is it. You can see the hem. Let me take this out. You can see the hem of the blouse is curved. You can see it. You can see it. The hem is curved. So you just choose whatever you want. Okay? This is the blouse when it's open. So this is the front bodice. So when you're making the back bodice, you can choose to make the back longer than the front. You can do whatever you want. If I still want to shaping this, I can shaping this. Let me give it another shape. Let me start the cutting from the hip now. Maybe I don't want it pointy too much. And just shaping it the way you like. Just customize it the way you want. So you see now, it's not that pointy. It's just slightly curved. So whatever you want. So we're making the back for this. So when you're cutting on fabric, like I said, when you place this on fabric, please don't forget to add your sewing allowance here, your hemming allowance, your folding allowance to join the two shoulders, and then the allowance around the neck to either turn the facing with lining with bias, or you want to fold. For the back pattern, because most times we have zip at the back of our blouse, just mark 1 inch on both ends and then connect it with your round ruler. This 1 inch now is serving as zip allowance, but you may not need to do this on your pattern. You can start directly from here. When you're cutting on your fabric, you leave the 1 inch, but I'm just doing this so that you don't forget it. So it's from here now we start all our measurements. This will be folded, will be sewn out as your zip allowance. So we take our neck wideness of 3 inches, neck depth of 1.5 for back. You can use 1 inch too. Then we join. Then we take our shoulder measurements plus 1/2 inch, that's 8.5. I think we're starting now. This is our starting point, this line. So on this 8-inch mark, come down by 1 inch as well. Then you connect. Then just get your neck curve, your neck slope, your back neck slope. This is it. Then you come down by your armhole depth. This person's armhole depth is 8 inches. Then you roll here and tag here your chest line or bust line, chest line. Then you join from here to here. Then on this line now you take your bust measurement. We say your bust measurement was 1/2 inch because this is not your exact bust line. So the person's bust measurement is 9.5 plus 1/2 is 10. Then come take our waist measurement. The back half length is shorter than the front half length. So this person's back half length is 15. Then you take your, while the front half length is 16. Then you take your blouse length. We took 24 as blouse length in the first pattern we made. So just roll it. So this is our waistline and this is our blouse length or hip line. So on this waistline we take the waist measurement. This person's waist measurement is 8.5, that is 34 divided by 4. While the person's hip measurement is 11, 44 divided by 4. So connect these points together as normal. So this is it, and then just cover in, then cover out. Then for the armhole curve, pay attention. We still take the midpoint of the line, which is 4 inch. For the front pattern, we came in by 1/2 inch. We joined it to the elbow, so we're not coming in, we're just going out. So from this point, just come out. So this is it. This is the front pattern. While for the back, we came in. So this is the difference between the armhole for the front of your shirt or your bodice and the back armhole. Then take our darts. Use our dart principle to take our dart line. So this is 4.5. Join the line. on this line we took 1 inch difference. The back you can choose to take smaller, that you can still take same thing. The back doesn't mean, but there's no bust here, so you're not looking for any fitting. So you just measure from your shoulder to 10 inches or 9 or 10. So I'm using 10. Then from your hip, just measure, come up by 1 inch only. But for the front, it came up by 2 inches. So that's just the difference. Why for the front, this upper part, we came down from the bust point by 1 inch. But here we're just using 10-inch mark or 9-inch mark, depends on what you want. So just connect it. So this is the dart. So this dart, we're transferring it here, we're adding it here, which is 2 inches. That is this. Just add 2 inches to the side, and then connect it back to the hip. So this is it. So by the time you join here, this will come back to normal. So this is how to make your bodice block, the back pattern. So then if you want to curve, I said something about the curve. If you want the back to be longer than the front, you can go down now as much as 2 inches. Then you can come up with whatever you want. We came up by 4 the other time on the front pattern, so we'll do the same thing there, so that the sides of the back and the side of the front can align. But for this back and front, you choose. So you can just do it the way I said. Use a ruler. You can just curve it on your own if you're good with curves or drawing. So that's it. So I think this is basically everything about the back pattern. So just cut it out. When you're cutting the neck, you start from, because this part is the zipper allowance, so you start from the zipper allowance. And cut the shoulder on the slant. So this is it. And this is the back pattern. You can see the curve of the back pattern curves more than the front pattern. So if I'm placing the front pattern on the back pattern, so notice that the front now, the back is shorter than the front. You can see it. So that's just it. How easy it is to construct a basic bodice pattern. So my next video I'll be dropping is on how to sew fabric and to cut your fabric and sew. So stay tuned so you can get updated. That's why you need to subscribe to the channel so you get updated, and then click on the bell that's close to the subscribe button so you can get notified, and give this video a thumbs up, and drop all your questions in the comments section. Any question you have at all on this video or any of my tutorials, just drop the question in the comments section. I'll be right there. Well, don't forget to share the video with your friends and your loved ones. Bye.